everyone. Today we're going to be doing a lesson called Inequality word problems. And your goals today are that you will be able to write inequalities to represent situations, and you can show solutions to inequalities and graph them on a number line. Let's go ahead and get started with today's lesson. All right, I want you to start out by doing the two warm-up questions that are on your student note sheet. If you are at home and you need to print those out, make sure you do so. If you're in class, they should have been passed out to you already. But if for any reason they were not, then just go ahead and ask for those and complete these two problems. So you can press pause now, complete them, and then if you've completed the problems, press play to continue and see how you did with the warm-up problems. All right, guys, welcome back. Let's see how you did. We had to solve for two inequalities here. The one on the left was x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 3. So we're going to do the opposite operation. We're going to add 2 to both sides. When we add 2 to both sides, we get x is greater than or equal to 5. When you graph your solution on the number line, you can see that you should use a closed circle because we are including the 5 since there's an equal part of the inequality. And then since it is greater than, the arrow goes to the right. And now for the problem on the right, we have x over 8 is less than 5. We know that x over 8 is the same as x divided by 8 is less than 5. So the opposite of division is multiplication. We're going to multiply both sides by 8. When I do that, it gets rid of the divided by 8, and we're left with x on the left by itself. 5 times 8 gives us 40. So it is x is less than 40. Since it is less than, we draw a circle that is open on the point above 40, and the arrow goes to the left since it is less than. So anything less than 40 but not equal to 40 is shown there on the graph. All right. These are just a reminder of the symbols that we've been using and keywords to look for and how to graph our solutions for each type of inequality on a number line. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at some word problems, and we're going to, after we read the word problem, we're going to need to tell what the variable represents. We're going to need to write an inequality for the problem, and then we're going to solve that problem. So we're really kind of just putting we're putting to work the skills that we have learned already. There's really nothing new that we need to learn in order to solve these problems. Let's do the first one together, and then I'll let you solve some on your own. Philip went trick-or-treating and got C pieces of candy at the first house and 6 pieces of candy at the second house. If Philip has more than 9 pieces of candy in his bag, write an inequality to represent how much candy Philip got at the first house. So let's break this down. It tells us that the variable we're going to use is C, and it says that C is going to be how much candy Philip got at the first house. So C equals candy Philip got first. The inequality that we're going to write, let's take a look at the question again. It says that he got C pieces of candy at the first house and 6 pieces of candy at the second house. But in order to figure out the total amount that he got, we're going to add those together. So we have C plus 6. The question says if Philip has more than 9 pieces of candy in his bag. So the amount of candy that he has in his bag is going to be C plus 6, and it's going to be more than 9. So C plus 6 is greater than 9. So let's go ahead and solve that now. C plus 6 is greater than 9. We're going to subtract 6 on both sides. When I subtract 6 on the left, they balance each other out. You're left with just C. And then the 9 minus 6, of course, is going to give us 3. Erase that here. There we go. So C is greater than 3 is the answer that I would get. All right. And if I go back and I take a look, it has to be greater than 3. Pick a number greater than 3. Say 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 is greater than 4. So that does make sense. When we look at the problem, the words more than are what told me that we were going to use a greater than sign. Okay, so we're looking for some of those key words that tell us what inequality we're going to write. And our final answer would be that Philip got more than 3 pieces of candy at the first house. So I should write that and circle that. Philip got more than 3 pieces of candy at the first house. That'll be my answer to the question. All right, let's have you try this problem on your own. It says that you're going to write an inequality for the problem and tell what your variable represents, then solve. Alyssa's parents told her she could go to the local carnival with friends, but said she should spend no more than $15 in total. She spent $9 on rides and the rest on food. Write an inequality to show how much money Alyssa spent on food. So I will tell you that the keywords that I see here are no more than $15 in total. Those keywords should tell you what type of an inequality you're going to write. And it does tell us, it does not give us the variable that we need to use in this particular problem. So you get to pick the variable that you're going to use. Remember that you're going to think about the question. The question is asking you to show how much money Alyssa spent on food. So you're going to pick a variable that will be equal to how much money Alyssa spent on food. Go ahead and do that now. Write your inequality and solve, and then write your answer in sentence form and circle it. Press pause. Go ahead and do that now. And press play when you're done to see how you did. All right, welcome back. So the words no more than told me I was going to use the less than or equal to symbol. I decided to use F for the money that Alyssa spent on food. I knew it was addition because of the words in total in the word problem. So I did 9 plus F is less than or equal to 15. When I solved the problem, I needed to subtract 9 from both sides. That gave me F is less than or equal to 6. And then your final answer, you should have written Alyssa spent less than $6 on food. All right, let's take a look at another one. Again. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead now and we are going to continue this problem. I had a little bit of a technical difficulty where my computer shut down. So I had to go back in and start the process over. We should be good to go now, though. All right, question number 3. Write an inequality for the problem. Tell what your variable represents, then solve. Sarah is training for a marathon and must run a minimum of 12 miles each week to prepare. If Sarah's schedule allows her to run for 3 days out of the week, how many miles must she run each day to meet her goal? If you think you know how to solve this problem on your own and you can figure out what variable you're going to use and what inequality you're going to use, press pause now and go ahead and solve the problem on your own. If you want a couple of hints, then stay on. So in this problem, they don't tell you what variable to use. So you're going to look at the question, which is how many miles must she run each day to meet her goal? And you're going to pick a variable that you think works well for that. In order to figure out which inequality you should use, you're going to look for the key word. The key word that we have here is a minimum. That should help you to figure out which inequality to use when you're solving this problem. All right, go ahead and hit pause, solve the problem, and when you're done, hit play to see how you did. All right, guys, welcome back. So if you solved this problem correctly, you would have noticed that the word minimum meant that you needed to use the inequality greater than or equal to. The problem that you would have done, I picked the letter M, or miles Sarah must run each day. And then the inequality that we set up would be 3m is greater than or equal to 12. So in order to solve this problem, you're going to need to set up your inequality again. 3m is greater than or less equal to, greater than or equal to 12. Since 3m means 3 times m, you need to do the opposite operation, which is division. So it's going to be 3m divided by 3, which will leave you with m, and then 12 divided by 3 on the right-hand side will give you 4. So you get m is greater than or equal to. So your answer is Sarah must run at least 4 miles each day. All right, let's go ahead and check out the next problem. Directions: write an inequality for the problem, tell what your variable represents, then solve. Carlos is buying video games in his favorite game store and already picked out a $35 game. If Carlos can spend no more than the $50 gift card that he brought with him, how much can he spend on a second video game? All right, you're going to go ahead, you're going to pause, you're going to solve this one on your own. When you're done, hit play to see how you did. All right, so I decided to use G as my variable, and G was going to be equal to the amount Carlos can spend on the second game. Instead of the inequality, I knew he had already spent $35, and that I was combining that with the cost of the second video game. So I needed to add. So 35 plus G is going to be on the left-hand side. The words "can spend no more" told me that I needed to use a less than or equal to sign, and then the amount that he had was $50 on his gift card. So the inequality was 35 plus G is less than or equal to 50. To solve that, in the opposite operation, the opposite of addition and subtraction. So I subtracted 35 from both sides. When I do that, I get G is less than or equal to 15. So Carlos can spend up to $15 on his second video game. All right, guys, it's time for you to do some work now. I want you to go into Class Kick, and you're going to complete the inequality word problem practice that I have set up in there for you. And there are extension activities posted for you to do after that if there's time. All right, guys, good luck and have a great rest of the day.